Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving straight into the supplement world.
Yeah, we're looking at creatine, but specifically this newer twist on it.
Exactly. We're investigating instantized creatine. We're using Gains in Bulk's product as a sort of case study here.
And the big question is, does it actually offer anything more than good old creatine monohydrate?
The stuff everyone knows, the standard.
Right. I mean, creatine monohydrate is basically a legend in sports nutrition. It's got, what, 30 plus years of solid science behind it?
For strength, muscle building, even some brain benefits people talk about.
Absolutely. So the bar for calling something an improvement is already sky high, you know?
Okay, so let's unpack how we got here. What was wrong with the original stuff people used to complain about? Like the texture, right?
Yeah, the grit. You'd mix standard monohydrate and there'd always be that sandy sludge at the bottom of your shaker. Not exactly pleasant.
That's where micronized came in then.
Exactly. That was the first big step up. They just milled the powder much finer, down to maybe 150, 180 microns.
Which made it mix way better.
Much better. It basically became the standard we see everywhere now. Less grit. And people anecdotally reported less stomach upset too, though that's harder to prove definitively.
Okay, so micronized solved the mixing problem, mostly.
Yeah.
Now enters the new hype, instantized creatine.
Right. Gains in bulk, for example, they talk about using a 600 mesh system, so even finer.
And sometimes they add things like lecithin
Yeah.
to help it dissolve.
Yeah, emulsifiers. The whole marketing angle is 100% solubility, like it vanishes in water, and zero bloat.
Okay, 100% solubility. This seems like the core claim. But here's where we need to maybe slow down a bit.
Yeah, this is absolutely critical for you listening. Solubility, how well it disappears in your drink, is not the same thing as absorption.
Meaning how much actually gets used by your body.
Precisely. How much makes it past your gut wall and into your system where it can actually do its job?
And the fascinating part here, for me anyway, is looking at the data for regular creatine monohydrate, even the old gritty stuff.
It's already almost perfectly absorbed. Like, studies consistently show around 99% of the creatine monohydrate you swallow gets absorbed.
99%. So once it's in your bloodstream, it doesn't matter if it started as a bigger particle or a superfine one.
Nope.
Oh.
Irrelevant at that point. The creatine molecule is the creatine molecule. The instantized stuff still relies on all the studies proving creatine monohydrate works. There aren't studies showing instantized creatine performs better once absorbed.
So if absorption is already basically maxed out, these claims about, say, less water retention or zero bloat,
Right.
how does that square scientifically?
Well, honestly, it doesn't really square up. That zero bloat claim is a bit of a marketing red flag, you know?
Because creatine works by drawing water into muscle cells.
Yes.
That's its mechanism.
Exactly. It's osmotic. That's fundamental to how it increases cell volume and aids performance. Making the powder dissolve instantly doesn't change that basic biological fact. The less bloat is likely just people experiencing less gut discomfort because it mixes better, not because the absorbed creatine behaves differently.
Okay, so the performance benefit seems identical,
Yeah.
which brings us squarely to the business side of things. What are you paying for?
And the difference is pretty stark. You can find good quality micronized creatine for, I don't know, maybe 20 cents a serving if you shop around.
20 cents, okay. And this Gains in Bulk instantized version.
That can push up to like $1.30 per serving.
Wow. Okay, so that's more than a five-fold increase.
Yep, a 5x price hike, essentially just for a smoother mixing experience.
Now, let's be fair. Gains in Bulk does talk a lot about quality control. They mention third-party testing, Silica Labs, I think.
Yeah, and they have certifications like Informed Sport, meaning it's tested for banned substances, WWADA compliant. That's all good stuff, builds trust.
It should. But there's a flip side we found. When you look at their broader business reputation.
Yeah, this is where it gets a bit messy. Despite those quality claims, Gains in Bulk has, or at least recently had, an F rating from the Better Business Bureau. Primarily for not responding to customer complaints filed with the BBB, which is, you know, a pretty significant contrast to the image of quality and transparency they project.
So putting it all together then, what's the takeaway for you, the listener?
Well, this deep dive suggests instantized creatine definitely wins on user experience. No grit. Smoother shake. That's undeniable.
Yeah, there's no solid evidence it actually works better in your body than the standard, cheaper micronized stuff, which is already almost perfectly absorbed.
Right. So it boils down to value. Is eliminating that tiny bit of grit worth paying 5 times more?
It really makes you think, doesn't it? If a supplement is already giving you 99% of the active ingredient, what's the real justification for such a massive price jump just for better mixability?
When does convenience cross over into just paying a premium for perhaps very little extra functional benefit. That's the provocative thought to chew on. Is that smoother sip really worth the extra cash out of your wallet?